Hi everyone, welcome to the Simple Art at Home Summer Camp Art Series with me, Laura Houston. Get your art supplies ready because together we will get creative, learn about art, and have some fun along the way. I'll meet you at the art table. So this lesson is called Little Fox because I'm going to show you how to draw and color a fox. You're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil with an eraser, something to color with, either crayons or watercolor paints or oil pastels, and you'll probably want a black pen for outlining with, but you can also use a black crayon. Okay, so I'm going to take you through step by step how to draw a simple little fox. We're going to start above the halfway mark, kind of up here, but leave some room at the top. And I'm going to sketch kind of like an upside down triangle. And this upside down triangle is going to become our fox's face. And as you know, I always outline with a black pen, but for now I'm sketching with my pencil because I don't want to make a mistake that I can't erase. So here, this would be his head, and let's put some ears up here. So we'll just put like a triangle up here. This could be one ear, and put a smaller triangle inside. And let's draw another triangle over here. And with a smaller triangle inside. Those will be his ears. I might make this one a little taller to match. Now, his eyes will be around this size and about right here. So leave a space in between his eyes. And then we're going to draw a line that goes around his eye and down to his nose. Again, over here, same kind of line. And that will be his little fox face. And before I forget, let's make another little circle right there on his nose, because we're going to leave that part white and it's going to show like a shine. Let me just fix my lines a little bit here. Okay, as far as his body goes, we will, his or her, I don't know, we'll draw just a simple like oval shape like this. He's going to be sitting, he's going to be a very patient fox sitting. And we'll draw his legs right here. So we'll have one leg here, with a little foot, kind of like that. And we'll draw another leg here. A little foot. Okay, and then as for his tail, I think I want to make this foot a little smaller there. As for his tail, it'll start off small and it will go to be a bushy tail at the end. So it's kind of small here and then go big and bushy there. And get small again back near his body. Okay. And before we draw anything else, let's add in a horizon line to show where he is sitting. So I'm going to draw one line here and we're going to stop because I don't want it to cut in front of his body. It'll be like behind him. A horizon line is where the sky meets the land. And then we can also draw another horizon line back here. So it's like maybe some mountains because a fox lives in a forest that could have some hills. And then I think what we will do is maybe we'll draw up here in the corner, we could put a sun up here. Maybe it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. And let's draw a tree. So maybe right about here, we can draw like a pine tree. Something about like this. And it'll just come like this. We'll keep it simple. And then we want to make sure that our tree is in front of the mountain. So I'm going to erase these lines here. And I'll show you when we color that in. We'll take this down. And I think it will also be nice to show some trees off in the distance. And the way that we do that is you're going to make them smaller. And by making them smaller, kind of on this mountainside, it's going to look like they're off in the distance. And maybe we can put another tree kind of just barely showing back here. Maybe one more back here. Like that. Okay, so I will start drawing the details in with a pen. And I always like to start with the eyes. And I'm going to draw kind of a very specific eye that looks like this. It has like a little opening in it. And I will hold my paper up closer to the camera as soon as I finish coloring in this eye so you can see what I did. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up. Well, let me erase the pencil. Okay. You see how I did that eye? It's a little opening. And I'll do the same thing with this eye. So you draw the outline and stop, and then draw. It's almost like a backwards crescent moon shape, or almost like a C. And I will erase the pencil so you can see what that looks like. See, all of a sudden he has some little cartoon eyes. I'm going to do something similar with his nose. So there's a little nose, and then this part will remain white, and it'll be like the shine, the little shininess of his nose. And I'm just going to use my pen to color in the rest of his nose. You can color this in with crayon if you want to. I like the fine tip of this pen. There. Okay, so there we have his nose, and I'm gonna draw the outline of his head. It's gonna go around like this, and then down to his nose, down on this side as well. See, there we go. And let's draw an ear and draw the inside triangle. Let's do the same thing over here. And then I will add the lines on his face to make it look like a little fox face. And I'm going to take a moment to erase my pencil marks because I don't really want those in there. I have my glue stick is rattling against my paintbrush container because I'm shaking my table. It's my paintbrush container rattling against my pen holder. I keep all of these items. Look at all my pens. I keep all of these items up here. There's all my paintbrushes. Now you get to see behind the scenes. Okay, now I'm going to outline his body, but we're going to be really careful when we come down here. We don't want the body line to cross over the front of his legs because we want his legs to be in front of his body. So I'm going to stop right there, and then I'm going to draw his leg and his little foot. I'm going to continue down there. And I'm going to go ahead and draw his other leg and his little fox foot. Suppose we could do this. Should we do that to show little toes? Now I can connect his body here and over here. And I will erase some of those pencil lines. I always like to draw with pencil first, because sometimes I can see that I've made something too big or too small. and I need to correct it. So let's draw his fox tail. And while I'm here, I'll draw this horizon line. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Oh, and I stopped at the tree because I want the tree in front of the horizon line. Let me just kind of show you that. There. So it stops there. So I'll wait to do this other horizon line. Let's finish the details on our fox. So foxes have a tail that's usually kind of two-tone color. The tip is white, so we're gonna leave that part white. His legs will be black, and I think the rest I'll just draw in with my oil pastels. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna start coloring. One thing that I do want to add, sorry about that, I'm gonna add some little like grass marks, and you could do like a little pebble or so, like rocks are down there. Draw some grass marks around the tree. That way we know he's kind of out in nature. I think that looks interesting. Okay. So I'm going to start with the color inside his ears. I was thinking of doing a pinkish color here inside his ears. And the rest of him, I did forget one thing. Oops, take your black pen again. I forgot something important, or your black crayon. I forgot to do his outline of his belly. So it's going to go right around, kind of where the horizon line is. It's just gonna go around his legs and back down to the other side. And that stays white. The fox's belly and chest are white. So now we'll get that brown again. I like this brown. It's almost like a reddish brown. And I'm going to also, when I finish, I'm going to outline him with a thick black either crayon or oil pastel, because I like that look of the thick outline. So I'm going to color in very carefully here. So everything around his eyes will stay the white color. You can choose any color that you want. Maybe you want to draw a little red fox. Maybe, since this is your drawing, you want to make your fox any color of the rainbow. Okay, and now I'm going to color his body. I keep calling him a him, so I guess I've decided that this is a male fox, a little male fox. I forgot we can add. Why don't we can draw a little den in the hillside, because I think foxes live in dens. So maybe back here, or maybe over here, let's draw like a little cave opening, and I'll color that in. Won't that be fun? Like maybe that's where he lives. Okay, I'm almost finished with his body, and now I'm going to draw the bottom part of his tail. I'm going to color the bottom part of his tail brown too. But the tip of his tail, where those zigzags are, that will be white. I'm just going to leave it the color of the paper. And we're going to color his legs and his feet black. maybe his little toes won't show since they're not toes, you know that. They have paws. But I'm gonna color that in black. Sometimes it looks like, you know, the fox is wearing little black socks, but they usually have little black legs. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use the black to color this in right here. This could be his den where he lives. It's like a little cave, all safe in the mountain there. Okay, and why don't we draw the tree? So I'm gonna try to find a dark green. I like this dark green. I'm just gonna kind of take it down like this to make my pine tree. So I like to think that, you know, he's in the forest. I'm just using simple lines, something like that. You can even make it go off the page a little bit. There we go. And I'm not going to draw color in those little trees yet because I want to make them lighter green. I will make I'll use some brown for the trunk of the tree. And maybe what I will do next, maybe I'll use a little brown, real light brown on the hillside here. I'm going to color it very lightly because I don't want it to blend in too much because the fox is also brown, but I know I'm using a different color brown, but I don't want them to blend together. But it will help when I go over everything with black. Just kind of doing some soft side to side lines here to color this in. There. And then I want to color the ground. So maybe he's on a grassy meadow somewhere near the hills, near the forest. You have to be careful if you're with pastels because if you're using pastels, because sometimes you can grab a color that's already down. So I grabbed a little bit of the black. Sometimes if I need to use black, I'll do it last so it doesn't smudge or smear. That's something that you might consider, especially if you're painting. Sometimes you need to use the black last. Okay, and I also want to color in, the little trees. So I'm going to use a light green here because these trees are off in the distance. I'm just going to make them small. Looks like some small trees that are far away. If you're trying to make something look like it's far away, you just make it smaller. And for the sun, I'm going to use some yellow and some orange up here in the corner. This is a bright, like goldenrod color. Okay, and I'm going to mix some orange in it. I don't need my glue stick for this lesson. There, I'm mixing some orange in. That's like a nice glow. It's a beautiful day for this little fox outside. And then I will put some blue, so a little bit of blue up here. And I'm not coloring it in completely. I'm just kind of drawing. I'm going to go a little bit lighter as I get closer. Just go a little bit of blue. I think it just makes it interesting. It looks better if you add color to your background. Okay. And I might take a darker blue. Just do a little bit of darker blue at the top, a little bit. There. Okay, now I told you I was going to outline with black, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to take my black pastel, And I'll probably have to turn my paper sideways at times to do this. And I like to press down really hard, but I like how it looks to outline with black. And I'm not going to do the inside of his face. I'm kind of gonna stick to the outside parts of the fox. It's hard for me to control this broken pastel. It's so tiny. I'm gonna do that and maybe around here. And I'll go around his body here. Right here. See how that makes him stand out a little bit more? To have that thicker line. You can do this with a black crayon, or if you have a very thick pen. And I think I like how he looks that way. You know, I might go ahead and outline this horizon line, but I'm gonna go behind the tree. And maybe I'll do this lightly right here. Oops. Oh, do you see what I just did wrong right there? I just covered on top of that tree. So I'm just gonna try to fix it because I wanted the tree to be in front, and that's okay. Sometimes we make mistakes and then sometimes it doesn't really matter in the end. Nobody notices. I'll just try to go behind these trees here. There, that's fine. And I think I do want to draw the line around his belly a little bit more. Kind of like how that looks. I don't want to try to do the thickness around his nose because I think that'll be too thick. But I think that's good. You can decide how much of the fox you want to outline. But I think that's good for now. And you can decide if you want to outline more or not outline at all. Let me hold this up so you can see it a little bit better. So there's his eyes and his body. You can see the background back there. So this is a little fox and he's in a meadow somewhere with mountains behind him and he's happy and there's trees. And I just want to show you really quickly. Here's an example. I did an owl. This is another little woodland creature. If you're interested, you can always pause the video if you'd like to try drawing the owl. The owl is very simple too, with simple shapes. So I hope you had fun with this lesson with the little fox, and I challenge you to also try drawing an owl. Thanks for watching. See you next time.